Hello everyone, my name is Jimmy and welcome to The Last Lap. In today's video we're going to be breaking down everything we saw from Las Vegas. But before we hop into the video, just want to quickly remind you guys, hit that like button and subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it if you did that. And before I introduce Matthew on the show, as always, we like to show off some new diecasts when we get them. So I got a Jeff Gordon diecast, another one of his raced wins, this time the 2009 Texas raced win. There you guys go. Can show you the hood, the side. There's a blown tire on there too. So finally got that one added to the collection. Just need a few more to complete as far back as I want to go. I only need 2 more Jeff Gordon raced wins, so almost there. But anyways, Matthew, my friend and co-host, is joining me on the show. We're both live in Cancun. This broadcast is in Cancun. You know, we're in separate rooms. You know, we got our own setup going, live in Cancun. But anyways, Matthew, how are you doing before we go ahead and hop into this video?
Well, I'm doing great. My driver didn't feel like he was in Cancun today the way he was driving, but your driver, though, I think he's still in Cancun the way he was today. So I think there's a different vibe going on in Cancun right now. So um, but anyways, let's get right into Las Vegas this weekend.
Alright, so as always, I'll go over the race recap and the race results, and Matthew will go over the playoff grid. So starting off the race, or well, honestly for the whole race, it seemed like Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell had the cars to beat. Larson, he got to the lead early. He took it away from Christopher Bell, and then Bell passed him back a little bit before green flag pit stops. And there was a little bit of a weird strategy call in stage 1. So Kyle Larson pitted, and then Christopher Bell and Martin Truex Jr., they decided to pit 6 laps after Larson did. And then so I think Larson was 3rd at the time, and then he came out in the lead by about 5 seconds over Christopher Bell and Martin Truex Jr. So Toyota's made a little bit of a mistake right there, staying out. Ross Chastain, he had a speeding penalty. There was a caution for Eric Jones with 15 to go in stage 1 with a flat tire, which wasn't the first time we had a flat tire earlier or throughout the whole race weekend in general. Kyle Larson, he would go on to win the first stage after the restart. And this is where one of the weirdest strategy calls of the race happens. So Martin Truex Jr., well, not him, but his crew chief, James Small, decides to have him stay out after stage 1, and pretty much nobody else stayed out with him, and he fell all the way back to 16th before another caution came out for another flat tire. Coincidentally, it was Eric Jones' teammate, Carson Hocevar, so a caution came out for that in stage 2. And Kyle Larson, he had a really impressive save in stage 2 as well. He lost control of the car coming off of turn 2 and barely tapped the wall with the right rear quarter of the car, but was able to keep it straight, was able to keep going, and he was able to come back and win the second stage also, which is just crazy. But there was a caution for his teammate, Alex Bowman, with 20 laps to go in stage 2. And then Kyle Larson able to win stage 2 as well. Excuse me, there's a dog barking. I need to satisfy the dog real quick. Sorry, guys.
Tell him say hi.
Alright, guest appearance by the dog. Sorry about that. We record live. That's how we do it. But anyways, Larson would win the second stage. Martin Truex Jr. could not get that track position back. And then in stage 3, Brad Keselowski and Ross Chastain, they controlled the race for a while. Ross Chastain, he had 2 really impressive saves with his car. He was able to fall back to 5th, but very crazy moments for Ross Chastain there. Lost control in turn 1 and 2 the first time, and held on to second place, and then the second time he lost control, he lost a few spots. But there was a caution with 58 laps to go, and everybody pitted. They were able to make it to the end on fuel there, so everybody pitted and was able to make it. And then shortly after that, Ty Gibbs, there was a caution for him. He lost a wheel, so that was a 2-lap penalty, and then probably some crew members suspended. And then it was a 45 lap dash to the finish. Kyle Larson was able to stretch out to the lead for quite a bit. But in the final couple laps, Christopher Bell slowly started catching up to Kyle Larson. And the final, I'd say 3 to 5 laps were really interesting. So Kyle Larson was out in front, Christopher Bell was closing, and the final lap coming through turns 3 and 4, Kyle Larson kind of had to run the middle because there was a lap car on the bottom, and Christopher Bell ran the top and got a really good run off of turn 4 coming to the finish line. And Larson was kind of blocking his way around, trying to prevent Bell from getting by him, and was able to hold him off by just about a car length. So Kyle Larson was able to get the win at Las Vegas, barely over Christopher Bell. So I will quickly go over the race results. So Larson and Bell finished 1-2. Kyle Busch third, his second straight third place finish, so good run for him. Keselowski fourth, Ross Chastain fifth. Ross Chastain showed pretty good speed all weekend long, so it was nice to see Trackhouse show some speed. Toyotas, we got some down there, Reddick, Truex, and Hamlin, and Christopher Bell rounds out the top 10. So I will start with Kyle Larson for my post-race thoughts. A lot of people are like, is Kyle Larson the championship favorite now because he won? He's the first driver to win and advance to the championship 4, and we've seen it happen before. Joey Logano's done it twice. Kyle Larson, I think he did it back in 2021 also. And I like what Bob Pocker said. Bob Pocker said this in his post-race video, his short little thing that he does. I like him as a favorite, but I wouldn't say the favorite going into Phoenix still. Obviously, we don't know who the other 3 drivers are, but if it's drivers like William Byron or Denny Hamlin, maybe Martin Truex Jr. if he makes it to Phoenix. I don't know if Kyle Larson is the favorite, but he definitely is one of the favorites. And then Martin Truex Jr., he finally gets his first top 10 in the playoffs, and that is after overcoming a bad pit strategy. So Martin Truex Jr. finally has some speed. And yeah, back to the pit strategy call, I really don't know what James Small was thinking about leaving him out. I know it was only like a 10-lap run at the end of the first stage, but still, I really don't get why James Small left him out there pretty much by himself at the end of stage 1, and then he dropped all the way back to 20th. I think he worked his way back up to 11th and then lost a little bit more track position again. But at the end of the race, he was clicking off some really fast laps. Got up inside the top 10 near the end of the race there. So he had a fast car, just bad pit call that cost them a chance to possibly get a win and advance to the championship 4. And then there were a few drivers that I was kind of surprised that didn't have. They've raced well and they finished well, but they didn't really have race-winning speed. Tyler Reddick, I was surprised he really didn't have a lot of speed today, especially because Christopher Bell was up there. I figured this would be a good track for Tyler Reddick because he won at Kansas a few weeks ago. Reddick was just kind of around the back half of the top 10 all day, along with Chris Buescher. He really didn't have that much speed, especially because his teammate, Brad Keselowski, he led laps today, and he was up at the front. He probably had a top 3, top 5 car today. Chris Buescher, same thing, kind of around the back half of the top 10. And William Byron, I'm kind of surprised he didn't really have race-winning speed either. He still finished in the top 10. I'm just kind of surprised he wasn't up there fighting for the lead like the spring when he won the race, when him and Larson were the 2 more dominant cars of the race. And then something else that happened after the race is Ryan Blaney. He got disqualified for something wrong in the right front. It is the left front shock did not meet the overall specified length, so Ryan Blaney was disqualified. So very tough break there for Ryan Blaney. He was already below the cut line coming into the race. He was already below the cut line coming after the race, and now he's even in a bigger hole now. So very tough break there for Ryan Blaney. He is definitely in a must-win situation now based on his points position. Hey guys, this is Jimmy, just quickly interrupting the video to go over an announcement that was made. I'm editing and just saw this announcement. So according to Bob Pockris, NASCAR says there was an issue with the template used for inspection on Blaney's shock, and therefore the disqualification has been rescinded. Just wanted to quickly throw that in there because Matthew and I are going to talk about how this penalty affects Ryan Blaney and how he's in a must-win situation, all that kind of stuff, but that is no longer the case. Ryan Blaney is now 17 points below the cut line. So anything you guys hear in the video from Matthew and I are talking about the penalty, it no longer applies. Ryan Blaney 17 points below the cut line. Now we're going to get back to the video. I'll kind of let Matthew go into more in depth what the playoff grid looks like. So I'll toss it over to him and just I'll get, I don't know if you have this number, Matthew, so I'll give it to you, but just some numbers for stage points that were earned today because those are very important. Larson doesn't matter because he won, but Christopher Bell got 17 stage points, Hamlin got 11, Reddick got 9, Blaney doesn't count, Byron got 6, Buescher got 6, and Byron got 6, Truex got 6, and Buescher got 0, and Blaney got 0 now that he was disqualified. So there's a few little numbers for you if you want to use those, but Matthew, go ahead and tell the people some of your thoughts from Vegas and show us the playoff grid after Las Vegas.
Well, what another amazing race we had at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was amazing to watch, especially fantastic ending. But if we look at the playoff grid here, man, the playoff standings are even tighter now. Especially from second to fifth, they are literally single digits. So of course, Kyle Larson, he won today in dominating fashion. And now he's in the championship 4 at Phoenix, which definitely increases his odds for the championship, but I don't think he's the favorite in my opinion. My favorite is still William Byron. And he is now +9, which, man, he cannot have a mistake come these next 2 races. If he has one mistake, it is over for him. So he's +9. Warren Truex Jr. +2. Once again, was absolutely disappointing. Even though he did finish in the top 10 for the first time in these playoffs, he was still disappointing for the fact that they were screwing around with pit strategy again. And he now he's only +2. He lost like 13 some points today. And that he cannot have another one of those, and that's why I have him out of my championship 4 now because of these things keep happening. So he is +2. Danny Hamlin +2. He was in the top 10 all day, but he was kind of quiet for the most part. I didn't really see winning speed with him, but yeah, but he's only +2, so once again, cannot have a mistake these next 2 races, or it's gonna hurt real bad. Christopher Bell, the first person out, -2, which I do feel bad for because he did everything he needed to do today, and maybe except the last pit stop where he spun the tires real bad, and he literally needed one more lap, and he probably would have won this race. He needed an extra few feet basically, but and even after second place finish, he's still only -2, which is not the end of the world, but he's gonna continue to get better here these next 2 races. And Tyler Reddick now -16, which a little bit surprising today because considering what we saw in Kansas, I thought he would be able to continue to have a really good car, but for some reason he just did not have. He just seemed off today, which is a shame considering he was in such an amazing Air Jordan scheme once again, and he just seemed kind of off today. So he's -16 now. He is going to Homestead next week, which is one of his best tracks. So it's not over just yet for Reddick. I think he's gonna come there with some speed. Chris Buescher, who was eighth, now is seventh, -23 or -22. Once again, kind of disappointing for Chris Buescher because his teammate Brad Keselowski was so good today, and Buescher was the opposite. He did not earn any stage points, which is definitely not good at all, especially in the round of 8. And they hopefully this is just a one-off for him, and next week he'll come back with some speed because they cannot show up with another no stage point race again, because that you're gonna be in a must-win territory if you do that. And now Ryan Blaney, who was seventh, minus 17, is now dead last in the points, minus 56. Ooh, ooh, man. I mean, Blaney had himself a good day before that. I mean, he was in the top 10 most of the day, earned stage points, but even with that, he still was double digits basically in points behind, and now it's even worse. He's definitely a must win. So yeah, that's very unfortunate. But I mean, that's whoever was setting that car up messed up real bad. So yeah, so that is the playoff standings once again. Congratulations to Larson advancing his way in the championship four, and yeah, is a very tight playoff standings, and these next two races are only going to get more interesting.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney, he was originally 17 points below the cut line. Now he is in the 50s. So he went from still having somewhat of a chance to get on points to going to a must win because he literally only got 1 point today and that's for finishing last. All the stage points are gone. Wherever he finished, that's gone. But let's go ahead and quickly rate this race. I was kind of going back and forth because, like, I don't know. I feel like the racing was okay. Like, I think Kansas sets the bar so high for mile and a halfs, and I guess Charlotte as well. And Vegas, I just feel like it didn't meet up to those standards. So I feel like I was a tiny bit disappointed with what I saw on the track today. But the fact that Christopher Bell ran down Kyle Larson and almost passed him on the last lap for the win does make it a little bit better in my opinion. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for that reason. Short and sweet. I'll give it a 7. Matthew, what are you going to rate the race from Las Vegas?
I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was still an amazing race. I mean, the next gen car, these mile and a halves always deliver. And once again, we saw some amazing racing, an amazing finish. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.
All right, and I really don't think there hasn't been that much news that has come out over the past week. I think that's been super important. In the
Kosovo to
Xfinity,
Spire.
yeah, Hosfar did go to Spire. That was announced. But other than that, nothing too crazy. I know in the Xfinity series, JGR, they have 2 open seats over there. Noah Gregson, there's a rumor he might be going to the 10 car. And Rick Allen, literally on the live broadcast, said that Eric Almirola might be going to the Xfinity series, which I don't see that happening. I think if Eric Almirola is done with the Cup, I think he's going to retire. But maybe he will go to the Xfinity series. I don't know.
I mean,
But
he
there's
did
just a bunch of
win at Sonoma earlier this year in the Xfinity, and maybe that's what sparked the interest a little bit, if that is true.
yeah, I think that definitely could have sparked the interest. Maybe got some conversations going over there. But yeah, just a lot of rumors going around right now. Nothing set in stone besides Carson Hocevar going to Spire next year. But yeah, that's really all I have to say as far as news and stuff go. Just a bunch of rumors right now. But Matthew, do you have any other closing thoughts before we go ahead and finish this video up?
Um, no, I don't think so. No random thoughts, no in topic thoughts. I think I'm good here.
No Matthew's random thoughts or no Matthew's random rant to end the video today. None of that stuff.
um, not today. No.
All right. Well, yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. But we are going to Martinsville in a few weeks, and based on how the cut line looks right now, it's probably gonna be the same after Homestead going into Martinsville. So it's gonna be a really tight battle. We're gonna be there. We're gonna catch it on video for you guys. We'll post a vlog once we come back from all that. But we gotta get to Homestead first. Homestead is next week, so we will come out with a video post Homestead after the race. But until the next time, we will see you guys in the next video.